Hello, everyone. Good morning. Yeah. Welcome to Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And if participants can start gathering towards the stage, we just have a brief program starting right now before the walk begins. And definitely before we get going, special thanks to the Farmers Market for this wonderful partnership. Okay, we'll give everybody a few minutes to come on over here. Thank you. And with me up here is
Julia Jorgensen. Hi, everyone.
And she is our Walk a Mile Committee Chair. And her whole family participates in this event every year, and we are so thankful for them. So this morning's event is an early kickoff to Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And that's occurring in October. Nationwide, as many as 14,000 victims are turned away daily because of not enough beds, not enough staff, and not enough funding support for domestic violence. 99 lives were lost to domestic violence in 2024 in Wisconsin, and 6 of those were right here in Rock County. Let's first join together in a moment of silence to honor these individuals. The YWCA of Rock County has the honor of helping people in our community, those who have experienced domestic violence and who need support from others. Our shelter houses those that have become homeless, feeds individuals through an on-site food pantry, and provides ongoing case management, as much case management as is needed for all victims. We provide guidance to our clients through a DCF evidence-based program called Milestones, and support their healing journey with individual and group support with another evidence-based program called Trauma in the 12 Steps. We have an amazing staff with leadership from our Director of Crisis and Empowerment Services, Jessie Campbell. Jessie, raise your hand over there. Woo-hoo. And additional expertise from the entire team, but we've also got Angie McBride, our program trauma specialist and assistant director. Angie, raise your hand. I know she loves when I do that to her. And we are thankful as we move forward. And how do we grow? How do we innovate? How do we become a better provider of services? Angie is completing all of her accreditation. She's finished her education, and we are providing mental health counseling. So that's something new, and we're providing it to our clients as well as to those in the community. So for more information, please reach out. Yay! Our staff is amazing. The event has a goal of raising $40,000, and with your help getting pledges and donations and your partnerships today, the YWCA can reach our goal. We're really excited. We hope that we reach it. We're on our way. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the important sponsors of the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event that helped make today possible. Fetch Graphics. Yay. And I'll read them all, and then we'll clap for all of them at the end, because there's a lot. Fetch Graphics, Dry Water Productions, Advia Credit Union, Caitlin's out there somewhere, Alliant Energy, Baker Manufacturing, Beloit Health Systems, Blackhawk Community Credit Union, Blackhawk Technical College, BMO, JP Cullen, First National Bank and Trust, IBEW Local 890, Johnson Financial Group, Quick Trip, Mercy Health. I saw them out there in their uniform. Their little outfits for today. They're amazing. Thank you, thank you. Nowlin Personal Injury Law, Steve Kaya. Special shout out to the Nowlin Law Firm this year. They've helped us a lot. Often need a law partner as you work in the spaces that we do. We are thankful. Rock Road Company. SSM Health is out there. Thank you, SSM Health. Summit Credit Union, Tricor, Wells Fargo Advisors, and I think Sam with Total Mechanical, who is also helping us out so much all the time. Sam, are you out there? Raise your hand. All right. And I think it's Sam, is this the first time you're walking today? Awesome. Thank you. So you can see it takes a whole community to get behind a cause to help an organization like the YWCA to help the people in our community who need these services. So can we please give all these sponsors a huge round of applause for their support for Walk a Mile. And right before we started today, I have to say I did talk to Julia, and this might come as a surprise to her husband, but they can never leave. We need them to be on our community for the rest of our lives, and even if it's honorary, we'll figure it out, but we love them. So thank you for all you do. Their family just gets behind us, so thank you so much. And we're lucky, their company in our community, State Farm Insurance, we're just lucky that they get to be here and do what they do and have a great business serving our community, so thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Jesse, our Director of Crisis and Empowerment Services, to introduce the police, the Sheriff's Department, the Domestic Violence Intervention Team, so that you can all learn a little bit more about our Alternatives to Domestic Violence program and how we really work to have a better future for everybody we serve in this space.
Full service here, guys.
All right, well, I appreciate it. So new this year is our Battle of the Badges. 3 law enforcement agencies here in Rock County are competing for bragging rights and a trophy. Janesville Police Department, Rock County Sheriff's Office, and Beloit Police Department are battling to raise the most money for Walk a Mile. Our goal is to make this an annual competition and to announce the winner at our Walk a Mile event. However, since this is our first year, we are extending the deadline to October 31st, the very end of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So there is plenty of time to support one of these agencies dedicated to safety in our community. If you'd like to support them today as they support YWCA Rock County's fight against domestic violence, please head over to any of the tables that are marked by YWCA and scan the QR code and donate to the department you would like to support. Yes. At this point, I would like to welcome Sergeant Roy Carrasco from the Janesville Police Department's Domestic Violence Intervention Team and Sergeant David Rossmiller from the Rock County Sheriff's Office Domestic Violence Intervention Team to help kick off our event.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Sergeant Roy Carrasco with the Janesville Police Department. I'm the head of our Domestic Violence Intervention Team. So I'd like to welcome you guys to the 19th annual Walk a Mile in Your Shoes here in beautiful downtown Janesville. We're so excited to have this crowd gathered, lacing up, buckling up, and yes, maybe even wobbling a little. I know I will be. Thank you. So today isn't just about putting on a pair of heels. It's about walking in solidarity with survivors of domestic violence. It's about raising our voices, raising awareness, and raising the funds that keep life-saving programs at the YWCA Rock County going strong. In 2024 alone, the YWCA Rock County provided more than 2,600 nights of shelter and served nearly 1,000 individuals right here in the community. Behind those numbers are real people, mothers, children, neighbors, and friends who found safety, healing, and hope because of the YWCA, and they were there when they were needed most. The money we raise today directly supports the crisis shelter, counseling, youth support, transitional housing, and empowerment programs that help survivors not only escape abuse, but that also rebuild their lives. And remember, every service the YWCA provides is free of charge. That's only possible because of events like this and because of all of you and the donations. So let's walk proudly, let's walk loudly, and let's walk knowing that together we're making Rock County a safer place for everyone. So.
Good job, Roy. Excellent job. I'm not quite that organized to have something written down, so I just kind of fly off the cuff. But a lot of the good things that he said about the program here. So I'll give you a little bit of what domestic violence intervention means for the law enforcement side, what we're actually doing. So what we do is we investigate, again, any domestic violence incident. Therefore, we go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and we do background checks and everything along the way so that we can get that information to the district attorney's office and through the judge and judicial system to help the system help the people. It's already set up that way, but we're helping them along the way. All right? So I have several of my constituents here today to help out and show support. Unfortunately, they're on duty today, so they can't walk. Otherwise, I'd make them wear heels. But that's the way it goes. So I do, so I'm walking today. So we handle about 100 to 110 cases, I think, last year to help people. And so what we do is we make contact again with the victims to make sure they get the resources. One of the resources from the YWCA, and they've been a great advocate as far as helping us help them. And in turn, it helps everybody else in the community. So we just appreciate that partnership that we have. It's a fairly new program that we have in the sheriff's office. It's only been around about 4 years. Janesville was oftentimes the model because they've been modeling it for 7 more years than that. So we appreciate that partnership also. So along those lines, I hope I answered maybe some questions from the law enforcement side, the technical aspect of what we do. Other than the people that I have working for me are actually handpicked. It's not a situation where if you want to do an extra duty within the sheriff's office, it's the only one within the whole sheriff's office that becomes handpicked because it's people that have a passion for really helping out. So they do a great job. All right, so on that note, I guess we'll have some fun.
Thank you both. Thank you everyone for being here today. Being here shows your involvement with building and maintaining a community that has no tolerance for domestic violence. It really takes a team of dedicated advocates to provide important trauma-informed services to our community. I'd like my staff of warriors to give a wave out. I'd like to recognize you for all the work you do each and every day on the front lines. Most domestic violence victims come to us through that 24-hour helpline, and about 30% are law enforcement initiated. So again, thank you guys for doing what you do every day as well. We also work with other service providers to provide a continuum of care with shared clients. One of those is Rock County Human Services through the Rock County's DV leadership team. I'd like to welcome Michelle Stow from Child Protective Services to talk about how we partner to provide services to shared clients based on the issues of domestic violence.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Stow. I am a case manager at the Rock County Human Services for the Child, Youth, and Family Division. Prior to coming to Rock County, I was a volunteer at the YWCA Domestic Violence Shelter for about 5 years as I was pursuing my degree. Through that, I was able to do my college internship and then was hired in as a family and child advocate. Following coming to Rock County, I was asked to be part of the domestic violence leadership team. The team was established in 2018 and is made up of members of Rock County, the YWCA, and Family Services. The team recognized the overlap between domestic violence, sexual abuse, and child maltreatment, noting that each agency has its own unique mission and professional culture. The purpose of the domestic violence leadership team is to seek support with our partner agency in fulfilling the mission and appreciate the role in the community. While each of our agencies have unique identities and differing responsibilities, we are stronger when we address family violence issues together. The collaboration promotes flexible services to families and more consistent, articulated voice to the community. Developing an interagency relationship helps to identify and close gaps, resulting in positive outcomes for children and families in Rock County. Each agency is committed to work together to ensure safety and promote well-being for children and families through our common values: client advocacy, client self-determination, collaboration, confidentiality, family-centered cultural awareness, professionalism, quality, improvement, respect, dignity, safety systems, advocacy, and a trauma-informed approach. As a dedicated team, the Domestic Violence Leadership Team has committed to cross-training, referrals for clients to meet their unique needs, coordination of services and families, for children and families, and improving community education, prevention efforts, and committed partner relationships to further improve the response towards children and families who have experienced domestic violence. As a team member, I'm truly grateful to the YWCA and all the amazing work they do for our community, and I'm honored to be part of Walk a Mile, the Walk a Mile event that assists families of domestic violence.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Now I'm honored to introduce Angie McBride and Kelsey Bice, who will share her story of survival with you.
Hi, my name's Angie McBride. I'm the Assistant Program Director here. I provide the mental health counseling and trauma treatment for our clients, and I feel really honored to be able to introduce you and be a part of the journey of this lady. She is a true warrior, Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm a domestic violence survivor, a combat veteran, a veterinary assistant, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a niece, an aunt, a friend, and a girlfriend. I've also carried the identities of a wife, a medic, a histology technician, and a member of one of the very first fully trained female engagement team members to put boots on ground in Afghanistan. I may very well have carried other identities in my life, and I'll have even more to come. I find this important to tell you and also to remind some of you of this because at one point I didn't have a personal identity. I was robbed of it, as I'm sure some or many of you can relate to. Wanted to give you a quick background and the absolute irony in all of this. I am the youngest and the only girl in my family. I was raised with 3 older brothers and all of their friends. My mother was a domestic violence advocate for 10 years in another state. She is also a domestic violence survivor as a child from her stepfathers. I grew up knowing what my mom, grandmother, aunt, and uncle had lived through. I heard the stories of many women and children from the visits at the shelter on the weekends my mom had worked. I had also heard many domestic violence survivors and their families speak at my school or other events. So I grew up knowing exactly what to look for, what kind of men to stay away from, and I'm still standing on the stage with my very own story. So let's talk about how I went from a strong, incredibly secure and independent girl and woman to being the woman who called the YWCA crisis line with no voice while holding my mother's hand and needing her to speak for me. How I got to the point where I needed an advocate to help guide me on getting a restraining order and sit with me on not one, but 2 separate occasions in court, getting my temporary restraining orders. About a year ago, I found myself as a single mom to 3 children. I didn't know how to parent them because I was never allowed to be the disciplinarian. I didn't know what bills we had or how to pay them. Going to the grocery store gave me extreme anxiety. And in the middle of all of that, I was dealing with the extreme loss of identity, not knowing how to cope in a house that was comfortable to be in. We as a family didn't know how to be at peace with peace. So how did I get there? It wasn't overnight, and it didn't happen within a year. It was slowly over years, and I was the one making excuses and not even realizing it. I met who I thought was my knight in shining armor while deployed in Afghanistan. I was 24 years old and in the middle of a divorce from my first husband. I absolutely swooned over this man. He knew exactly what to say and how to say it. He knew where to be when I needed him. And he was absolutely cunning. We had to be quiet and sneaky about our relationship because we were active duty at the time. He had outranked me, and according to the military, I was still married, despite having filed for an uncontested divorce. And that is where it started. At the beginning, it felt like a real partnership. He helped out tremendously, encouraged me to take time for myself and my friends, opened the doors for me, and always gave compliments. That didn't last long, though. Within 30 days of our return from Afghanistan, he had injured his hand, and I jumped into caregiver mode. He had several surgeries over the next couple of years, and they were close enough together that he stayed on pain meds a big majority of that time. And I made excuses for his poor behavior and lack of help and support because of his injury. We had transitioned out of the military. He had gotten medically retired. And we added our second child to the mix, and as if life wasn't crazy enough, we had a third. By this point, I was exhausted. I couldn't tell you the last time I had any time with my friends. I was overwhelmed with cooking and cleaning and taking care of 3 children and having to pick up after a man, all while working full-time. The house was in constant disorder. For a good majority of this, he wasn't working, and yet I still had to find a babysitter to watch the kids. He got into a biker's club and thought cocaine was pretty cool. He was gone a lot of that time, which was kind of nice looking back on it. He would only come home for our middle child, and he made that very abundantly clear. He was constantly in my son's face and yelling at him and yelling at me because I was too soft on him or because I was too hard on the second child. We had had a huge fight at one point, and I had left. He decided to sober up and got out of the club, became the husband I always wanted, and I thought things were going to be pretty great at that point. When our youngest child was about 2 years old, my parents had moved from Illinois to Wisconsin. He made a lot of messes where we were living in the state of Washington at that time, so he decided to announce to his family and I both that we would be moving to Wisconsin. This was a decision that he made on his own, but anytime we got into a fight, he always used the excuse that he moved here for me. We moved in with my parents, got jobs, and started working towards buying a house. When we started working on that, that was when I noticed we had a lot of debt that we had to clear. That's when I started paying attention to the finances. I started putting my foot down, and I was able to get away with it because we were living with other people. Then we bought a brand new home, just a few houses away from my parents, but eventually it would feel like it was very far away. He had set up all the bills in his name and was the only one to access those. My ability to keep tabs on finances slowly declined. He slowly took over things again in the house with the falsity that he was trying to help me. Over the next 4 years, things started to click for me. The things that he did just didn't add up. He became very rude and an intense man. We couldn't do anything right, and he made it clear. He would get in our faces, screaming and yelling at us, backing us into walls. He was the worst with my oldest son and I started noticing that he was drinking a lot. And at first I just took note on things, where he was hiding his cans and how he was acting, and eventually I got fed up and started calling him out on things. That didn't go very well. Disagreements became full-blown arguments, and things escalated from there. On August 24th of 24, I found myself trapped in my own garage at home. And the only way to get out was blocked by my husband at the time. He had me in a bear hug from behind, trying to grab my phone and the tablets from my hands and take me to the ground. I screamed for help, and to no avail. Nobody heard me. So I did the only thing that I thought I could do at the time, and that was to call for my oldest son. It's a decision that still weighs heavy, but I know that there was no other way at that point. No sooner did my son start opening the garage did I witness my husband putting him in a chokehold and stopping the garage from opening. I had grabbed my phone out to call the police, in which he released my son and barreled towards me. ripping my phone out of my hands and throwing it out from underneath the garage door. He ended up calling himself that night, thankfully. And this was the beginning of the end of the abuse and where my connection with the YWCA started. I got my first temporary restraining order. The kids and I started counseling with Angie, and we started to heal. Learning to stand on my own 2 feet was very difficult. There were a few more events in the last year. He did not like losing that control at all. I dealt with him stalking me, putting air tags in my car, tracking my location. And every time he made an effort to gain control, I took it away because I was healing and I was learning how to recognize it. He tracked my call logs and my location, so I got my own phone plan. He put air tags in my car, so I took away the spare key. After he had left the house, and many events led to that, he wanted me to give him money for the small bills, so I called those companies. I told them my story, and it wasn't very easy to do. And I started my own accounts. I could do this on my own, because in all honesty, I already was. He was just in my way. The children and I continued to seek counseling through the YWCA the whole time. And there was one final incident on January 30th of this year. After that night, I fully realized the weight of what I was dealing with, and I pushed very hard in my healing journey. And I have pushed very hard to make a better life for the children and I. And there are many things that I've had to navigate, and we as a family have had to navigate. There is 11 years worth of abuse that I don't have time to even deep dive into. And I will tell you that is a very hard journey, but a very rewarding journey. I'm raising 3 wonderful children, and I'm working full time, and I'm doing everything that he told me I wouldn't be able to do without him.
Wow. Yep. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Angie, for all that you do for our organization, for the YWCA Rock County. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your story up here with how you support the YWCA and the people in our community. And thank you, especially Kelsey, for your strength, perseverance, and bravery. Thanks to all of you for sharing those stories. Can we give these amazing women a round of applause? Okay. Now, who's ready to walk? Let's walk. Okay, let's follow Julia and Jesse as they lead our 2025 walk, and we make a powerful statement that domestic violence is not acceptable. What did you say? She is talking in my ear while I am trying to talk to all of you, but we are ready to go. Follow these women, and the walk begins now.
Janesville Farmers Market. We've just completed the 19th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. All right. Woo! This is such a wonderful event for our community, and it's a great way for all of us to rally around together to show the YWCA and all of these victims our support. So thank you again for being here. I would like to personally thank Heidi and her staff for everything that they do for this event. Let's give them a big round of applause. All right. Now, we're going to do some awards today. So we have awards for 4 categories and bragging rights until next year. So our first award for the best shoe goes to Sam Wakefield with the pink high heels. Sam, come on up. I think he might have discarded the heels already. I don't blame him, though. My kid didn't even make it to the corner, so one of them made it all around. The other one took them off. All right, and then we have these amazing awards this year. Maybe you can explain who made them.
These are made by the case managers and the children who are living in the shelter currently. They love to make these awards for all of the support that you're showing every year for Walk a Mile. So this one is for the best shoe.
So congratulations. These awards were handmade with love. Lots of love, yes. All right, the best team uniform this year goes to the High Heel Heroes. Come on up, High Heel Heroes. These are custom-made shirts, and I think you can still get some from him. So if you guys want to join the High Heel Heroes or just get a shirt and help support, definitely reach out to Andrew here. He'll hook you up. All right, our largest walking team this year with 29 participants goes to Granger. Woo! All right, congratulations. Thank you so much for your support. You're going to beat this next year, right? We're going to get like 30 or more next year? That's your goal? All right. You guys heard it. 30 or more next year. Thank you. All right, and our most coveted award, we have 2 this year for most money raised. In second place, with $1,930, Nick Perkapile. Come on up, Nick. I think, yep, he's still here. Oh, and he's still got the heels on, guys. Nice job. Let's give him a round of applause. Pink heels with Batman. I love it. All right, and our first place winner with raising $2,490, John Ludwig. Come on up, John. Do you guys have a 50-50 winner for us, too? One more applause for John here. Thank you. Trophy.
Oh, that's fun.
Is that fun? Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Draw my ticket now so I can donate it.
All right, that's going to be Jordan's job here. So, Jordan, this is my youngest. She comes every year. She wears heels every year. Her goal next year is to actually make it the mile in the heels, but she does a good job. She goes out there with love and joy in her heart.
I walk it barefoot if I'm not wearing heels. So.
She does walk it barefoot. That's true. All right, so our 50-50 winner today is going to take home $120. And our ticket number is, do you want to read it?
Yeah. Okay. 565119. 565119. Dad, you're here to help.
She keeps him down to earth. Oh, hey! Ask and ye shall receive. All right. 565-119. All right, we have a winner. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, and he's donating it back. Thank you so much, John. Oh, and then we have our silent auction winners. The family fun wagon is going to Barry. Is Barry still here? All right. Hold that for me. Yep. All right. Our 18 holes of golf for 4, including a cart at Glen Erin Golf Club, is going to Ralph Lassa? Ralph Lassa. All right. Woo! And if you guys would please head over to the YWCA tent to claim your auction item. And I have 1 massage per month for 6 months. That winner is, again, Barry. Let's clean it up. All right. Thank you guys so much for your participation. I'm going to hand the mic over to Heidi.
Thank you, Jesse and Julia, for your leadership and the work that everyone has done for the last several months. I'd like to acknowledge the hardworking Walk a Mile Planning Committee members. If you can give them a wave, if you can give a wave when I call your name. Julia, Carrie Dre, where are you? Jesse Campbell. You're supposed to wave. Brittany Dello, there she is under the tent. Angie McBride, thank you. Andrea Arrett. Where are you, Andrea? In there in the middle of the field. Wave your hand. Caitlin Went. All right, Caitlin. Sandy Molsky, is Sandy here today? Sandy? Nope. Chris Ramos. Woohoo! Middle. And Kat Justice, right over there. You made a big difference today in the lives of our clients and all those that are suffering and have suffered from domestic violence. Thank you, Kelsey, for sharing your story. We were honored to have you here today. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, our donors, our volunteers, our walkers, ambassadors, and several others that provided in-kind support. Thank you for coming and helping us raise awareness and funds for our domestic violence programs. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here today.